The NBA is built on its stars and the players who help make each game interesting in their own way. But sometimes, to truly excel at the game, you need to go beyond who you are in order to get the shape and strength to excel. Many players took this to heart for the 2019-2020 season, and even the NBA bubble playoffs that we're now a part of. So allow us to show you some of the most stunning transformations that occurred for the current NBA season. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. Julius Randle. Julius Randle is one of the more important players on the Los Angeles Lakers, which isn't something you say lightly with a team that has both LeBron James and Anthony Davis on it. But in truth, while he was good in the 2018-2019 season, even playing like an all-star in some people's minds, the Lakers front office said they wanted him to be even more in shape, and thus challenged him to be even better when he came back for the next season, which he did in spades in ways no one could have imagined. No, really, he shattered expectations in just 3 weeks. He lost 10 pounds, but gained a lot of muscle, to the point where he was apparently 6% body fat. 6%! There are bodybuilders who don't have that kind of body. By his own admission, he felt great after working hard like that. The Lakers made it to the playoffs with a #1 seed record, and they appeared to be on the path to a deep run in the playoffs. Number 6. Mike Bibby. Okay, we'll be honest, Mike Bibby is not in the NBA right now. However, when he was in the league, he was a really good player, and many agree he was criminally underrated. One of the reasons for this, though, was his body type. It didn't help him stand out, and so he was out of the league after a good career there. Eventually, he found himself out of the league and into the Big 3 league run by Ice Cube. That's where the transformation happened. He went from a scrawny b-baller player to one of the most jacked people in the entire world. His change was so drastic that you wouldn't be challenged for thinking that it was photoshopped. Yet it wasn't. It was really him, and how big he was. That's frightening, and we don't think anyone is going to be making fun of his body size anymore. Don't you agree? Number 5. Miles Turner. In many ways, Miles Turner is an example of wanting to do better, but not always getting the results that you wanted, which sadly is something that happens to many. In the summer of 2018, Miles Turner felt the need to go and get his body into better shape and size. This led to him changing his diet, going and doing yoga, and working out in new ways. He dropped weight and gained muscle, going from 14% body fat to 7% body fat in just 5 weeks. If you look at Miles Turner now, he is definitely someone who has gone to great lengths to get better, which is to be admired. The caveat here is that though he likely is even more in shape and stronger now, that didn't translate onto the basketball court. In 2019-2020 season wasn't that good, and he's honestly been doing worse since getting in shape. You'd think it would be the opposite, but no. Sometimes being in shape doesn't mean you have better skills in basketball. You need to practice getting better in both. Number 4. Dwight Howard. When Dwight Howard came into the league as part of the Orlando Magic, he was dubbed the next Shaq, and seemed destined to be part of an NBA Finals winning team. To his credit, his opening years were dominant. The Magic were a threat, even beating LeBron James in the Eastern Conference Finals to get to the finals, where they promptly beaten by the Lakers. Not long after, he left the Magic, and he's been treading water ever since. Eventually, he made it back to Los Angeles to play with LeBron James, and this year, he has been doing better than previous ones, mainly because of his absolutely jacked physique. He's honestly very shredded, and his presence on the court has helped the Lakers. They're set to do a deep run in the playoffs, and if Dwight can help them win a title, it would be vindication for him in many ways. Number 3. Victor Oladipo. For the Indiana Pacers, things didn't go like they wanted to. They got swept out of the first round of the playoffs, even with their new star Victor Oladipo being able to play and doing well for them. But when it came to Oladipo himself, he's never been in better shape. After years of struggles in the playoffs, he swore to come back better. A few weeks later, a side-by-side photo of Victor proved that he wasn't lying about the desire to work hard. He was jacked in no time flat. His play was solid in the playoffs, and his team appreciated that, but it wasn't enough. Even though you could blame a previous injury and the lockdown for hurting things, but you can get Oladipo will once again work hard to be ready for next season so that the Pacers are a true threat. Number 2. Giannis Antetokounmpo. When Giannis Antetokounmpo came into the NBA, he was just a stick of a tall man that no one could pronounce correctly. Then he decided to work with trainers to overhaul both himself and his game. He succeeded and became one of the best in the NBA. He won last year's MVP and is likely going to win this year's MVP and was recently named Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis has once again proved that hard work pays off. Now if he can get that ring, it'll all have been worth it. Number 1. Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is from Serbia, and when he came into the NBA, he made an instant impact on the Denver Nuggets, instantly putting them into title contention in serious ways. The problem though was that while Jokic was powerful and incredibly skilled, many felt he was very overweight, which in part led to the Nuggets underperforming in certain ways in the NBA season before the lockdown. He took that to heart though and apparently dropped 40 pounds during the lockdown. That's a lot of weight to lose when you don't have the resources, including gyms and trainers, to help you get through the hard parts of getting into shape. The Nuggets aren't looking their best in the playoffs right now, but at least Jokic is. And if he keeps it up, the Nuggets really could be a threat next year. There you go, a look at 7 NBA players who went above and beyond for the NBA season that is slowly reaching its end, and how the results truly speak for themselves. Which of these players did you think had the most impressive or stunning body transformation? Do you think that they will keep this form for the long term to try and help their team succeed? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.